All right. Welcome into the Questionable Podcast. Apologies for the delay today, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. You got Scotty Questions here with our special guest right off the bat. We're going to welcome him in. Everybody, Eazy from the Woodward Heavyweights.
What up, man? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, dude. Thanks for coming in. We appreciate you. You know,
trying to share the stream right now.
Yeah, please do. Get it out. I should have texted it to you.
No, you're good. I got it right now.
That's what's up. Yeah, so thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Please like, follow, subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. Hit that subscribe button on YouTube. Please also head over to questionabletees.com. Check out the remaining tees from last year's Dan Campbell MCDCT. We got new design coming out for that. We got a new lines design. We got a new Questionable Tees design. We got new designs coming. We're gonna launch that, with Pride Detroit, and we're gonna obviously hook up Eazy and the crew over at Woodward here. Yeah, dude. Yeah, actually, I'm sporting it right now. We got the new redefined questionable hat. Not sure if we can see it.
There we go.
Yeah. We'll show it on social. We got the new lines gear on black, on blue, on white. Bruised up.
Look at, man, I have no hair. I could definitely use you know what I'm saying? So
for sure,
much appreciated.
For sure. But thanks again, E, for hopping on today. You know, Miko and John. You know, Miko not feeling good, and John, working double duty. So Eazy is supporting us here today. We really appreciate that.
I'll be the token Miko.
Oh my gosh, please, that would be perfect.
I love making love to my wife.
Oh my goodness, yes, please. Okay, this is going to be great. I'm very excited. But first off, E, again, we want to thank you for being on today. I want to, have a couple questions. Working over at Woodward, I've been over there a bunch. McCarty and the crew. What do you have any funny stories as of late? Like, I saw the ketchup thing was, the ketchup thing was funny. If you want to talk about that for a secup. And like, what other things, like, what does Darren do? Can you give us a little insight, like a little behind the scenes before we get started tonight?
Yeah. So like I picked up another job at the Dispo Romeo. So I haven't been here as often, but Darren, I mean, everyone here is like a character. A lot of people here are like just characters in themselves. So like, Darren's in there. Fish was in there while he was here. Spinny is one too. We have this new guy too. His name's Booner. Booner Sports. Make sure you guys check out him.
Booner not
a riot, bro. That kid. I can't even explain. I can't even explain a Booner story. Like, you just have to like experience it. I have nothing else for it, honestly. But I will say this one Darren story. We were getting ready to do our stuff with studio.
Yeah.
And we're at Meyer, and D-Mac smokes. I'm wearing a D-Mac cannabis hat right now, actually.
Yeah. Shout out D-Mac.
But so D-Mac's, blazed, and he's wearing like this winter hat because it's still cold outside at this point. And it's like, the reason why I did like a little mohawk thing is because it has a little mohawk tails on the top, to the back or whatever. And he's blitzed out of his mind. He goes up to us. He's like, check it out, boys. I'd make a pretty sick dragon. Shaking
oh no!
Tassels on his head.
Well, there he is. That's a classic D-Mac play. He was just at my house the other day. Yeah, for those that don't know, he was just on pay-per-view. He was at Windsor for the Impact Wrestling? Like, he was last week. He was on pay-per-view. After that happened, man, we got a couple orders of the D-Mac only makes turtles.
Let's go.
Yeah, dude. So he's D-Mac was being D-Mac, J Pook. And he's got a lot going on with the wrestling. So I'm excited for him on that. And it's very cool. And we'll be able to watch him grow in this. And I think this is something. Like, I really do think that this will be something for him for the rest of his career. I think this is very cool and very exciting. So I'm happy for him and the whole fam.
He's one of the coolest humans ever, man. Like, truly, like, dude wanted to be a hockey player. Went and became a hockey player. Got done with that. Wanted to be a rock star. Went and started a band. Went on tour. Wanted to do comedy. I've been to his comedy shows, but he's doing comedy shows now too. And then he wants to be a wrestler. And now here he is becoming a wrestler. Not to mention other stuff he overcame in his life too. Like, bro, D-Mac he's a good like human too. Like, he's the fucking man. I love D-Mac.
Dude, he's extremely special to me. He's helped me through a couple tough moments in my life. One really big moment. I mean, he was there for me, and so, we all love D-Mac dearly, and and that's the thing too. I think people
Happy belated too.
yeah,
Birthday,
shout
April
out,
1st.
shout
Yep,
out,
shout out.
happy B-Day, Mac. We got a little something for you. We always got something for Mac.
Yeah.
But no, just the fact, like, his experience, right, and he had to be, and I think that's what's special about D-Mac is he's intuitive and he's such a unique soul that he can be whatever he needs to be to protect his fam, right? Like that's what he did, like for the Wings. He was just protecting his fam. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not like he's a violent guy or whatever, but like, dude,
100%.
he's a protector, and
He's
so
just
that's
passionate.
yeah. And so that's awesome. That's great. So again, shout out Mac, happy birthday. But E, thanks for joining us today. We're gonna hop right into lines now. That was a great intro. We appreciate you. For those that don't know, please check out Woodward Heavyweights 5 to 7
Yes,
every day, right?
Yes, sir. 5 to 7 over on
5
WoodwardSports.com.
to 7.
Eastern Standard Time.
All right, so we're gonna talk lines now.
That was my Miko accent.
We got Token Miko here tonight. He said he's gonna do his best. So okay, Lions draft.
Yes.
We're here. It's April. It's the month of. Okay, this is lying season. We've talked about it, but now it's getting even crazier. Everybody's lying even more, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So nobody knows what from what. So let's just rip the Band-Aid off, okay? Let's talk about Jalen Carter body cam footage, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's hop into that. I want your 2 cents on that. I know you talked about it today on your show, but I would love your 2 cents. I know that you and I are kind of agree on this, but I'd love to get your 2 cents on it.
Yeah. No, I appreciate it. It's everything like people were already told. You know what I'm saying? It's everything we were already told about. So I just don't get like the shock value of it, I guess. I mean, maybe I do from a certain extent, right? If some people haven't experienced like real life situations like that and like it trips them out. It is a trippy situation for anybody, and no matter like what you've been through.
I will say, dude, it's watching the video, man. It is eerie, right? Like it's at night, it's or in the morning, it's dark, it's cops. It is eerie. Okay, I will give you that. So yes, there is a little bit of like a hit factor of like this is eerie, scary situation.
Yeah.
Right. Cops being cops, like doing their job, asking the tough questions. They're not being jerks. They were doing their job, trying to figure out what's going on. Like, right. Yeah. So anyway, go ahead.
No, I was just saying some people too, like some people are like, oh, you got special like athlete privilege. Like, no, he didn't like the maximum he could have been charged for, he got charged for. Like, that's how it works. Like, if anything, they charge you for more than they can. They charge you as much as they can.
Right.
That way they get you to plead down to at least something, right? Like, he didn't do anything warrant him going to jail that night. I think another thing to note is like you hear that story and you know that the one lady driving was inebriated. You know what I'm saying? You know, she was drinking. Well, Jalen Carter obviously wasn't drinking that night. Ted Ben showed up there and spoken to a cop, you know what I'm saying, and like not been breathalyzed or anything. You know what I'm saying? Like clearly like he was at least sober in that situation too. So I know that was like speculated around that situation. But it was everything that we were already told that happened. You know what I'm saying about him and the whole situation. You know, that unfortunately, you know, the friends of his or whatever, teammate, passed away. He was questioned by police. He lied to the police. But can we be honest about that too? Like, have you ever once been like, yeah, Mr. Officer, that's my weed? Like, yeah, that's my coke, officer. That's yeah, I had a few tonight. Yes, like
right. I mean, if you can,
come on, dude.
Nobody wants to get in trouble. Let's be real. In that situation, your first instinct is to not get in trouble. That's fair.
And then you have 1 million plus riding on it. Like, and I'm gonna say unless we're on your way, because you know he told me you guys are on Twitch now too. But it's like think of all like the nasty, horrendous things that you've said you do for a single $1 million, and imagine the fact that he had like 23 plus riding on like this situation. That's why we listen to the initial 911 call. His teammate, whoever else is there, is telling him to leave. He was told to leave, by the way, too. That's another thing. It's like, oh, he left his friend for dead or whatever. Like, first of all, he's not EMS. He's not a doctor. You couldn't have saved him. 2, and it sounds bad, but these are just like fact points we're making, right? 2, he was there. Like, lo and behold, like, listen to the 911 call, but he was told by another teammate to go away. Why? Because the millions of dollars I just discussed in the last point or 2 points ago. Like, I don't know, man. I feel like it's getting blown out of proportion a little bit. I don't know that it is, to be honest with you, because
No, yeah, I would disagree. I don't think it's getting blown out of proportion. I think it's where it needs to be, but I think that
yeah,
the reaction in which like he's going to fall to 18 or like it's going to affect it has affected his draft stock. Yes.
yes,
Will he fall out of the first round? No.
no, hell no.
And did it affect his pro day? Yes. I do think
Yes.
it did. Think about the
That-
emotions. You think about it as a human for a second, right? Anybody, I don't care who you are, will be affected. We talk about this in being questionable, right? In order to embrace who you are and that whole thing, like it's gonna affect him, and it did, right? He gained some weight and he didn't perform to his highest level because he was scared. I bet he was scared. I bet he was scared through this whole process. And so when you're scared is a combination of fear and anger. And so I just don't understand why people, he didn't have a great day. And people want to say, look, like he needs to be able to deal with adversity and we can't draft him if he can't deal with adversity. I don't want the person on my team. I'm like, dude, he's a kid. Let's be real. This is his first, this is his first real obstacle in his life. And you're dealing with a lot of money too. It's his lively. It is.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot imagine the pressure on him without this situation, right? Let's just think about the pressure on these kids without this situation, let alone with it. So, it's interesting. I've gone a lot of different ways through this. And after seeing the body cam footage, to me, he seems to stand up straight, answer questions, right? Like whether he's lying, but he's there. He's and just being there is owning up to it in a lot of ways and standing there.
Wasn't drunk, like anything like that.
Right.
And then I think you made a great point too, is like you can't forget the human element of it. And I don't know, man. I don't know how much I want to invest into like the underwear Olympics when like we've seen this kid produce like on the field. You know what I'm saying? Like I had another point too I was gonna make. I definitely just lost it, but I think there's definitely a human element that you have to be real about. And like you can twist things, if you think about it long enough, and that's everything. But I think ultimately, like to find like the real answers, we will never know until he hits that field in an NFL uniform, because we saw at a Brad Pro Day practice, yes. But what's going to happen is Dan Campbell, Brad Holmes, or whoever else, they're going to have discussions with his coaches. Like, hey, is this consistent? Is this what he is? Like, is this how this guy is every day in practice? And those coaches are going to give him the truth of the matter.
Right.
They're going to have discussions with Jalen Carter himself, and they're going to get a feel for like who he is as a human being and a character. Like those are all things that us as like analysts, podcasters, content creators, whatever the hell you want to call ourselves or yourselves out there listening, like fans, like we will never know those things. We aren't part of those meetings. We aren't part of those conversations with the coaches. Like we won't experience any of that stuff. All we have is like the same shit that we're recycling through the news over and over again. And when you hear it over and over again, it feels like a lot, but it's really just a one incident.
It
won
is
the national championship last year too, and none of this shit happened.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So real quick today, I asked the YouTube and Twitch, we're gonna take some questions. We're gonna try and do that today if you're okay with that. We got LeBay here, obviously. And his comment, which is interesting. He says comparing Jalen Carter to the typical 21-year-old is not a good argument. The typical 21-year-old is not signed to a contract worth tens of millions of dollars. When faced with adversity, Carter tanked. He acted like the typical 20-year-old, not a top draft pick.
He's a 21-year-old.
Right. How
does his age change because of? Right. By the way, hasn't signed any contract. Hasn't been drafted yet.
Right. So, no, I just wanted to.
21-year-old.
He's still 21. It doesn't matter. He's an aeronautical space engineer, top draft pick, or Joe Schmo, or Scotty Questions just playing soccer at 21. Like, dude, I had security. We all deal with these situations. 21, man. Still 21.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. It's not like they go through PR training, right? Or like they've met with the agents. Okay, like just don't F up. Oh, okay. Yeah. Still 21-year-old that's got
like a wild, like, in my opinion, at least. Apologize if I'm offending whoever asked the question, but like, how do you? So it's not the same at all. Like it's not. Or it is the same. He's 21 years old. His friend died. This dude's on the verge of making millions of dollars, being talked about as the number one, if not number two pick overall in the NFL draft, which means your contract's higher. You're getting that close, and then boom, you're reminded of your friend's death. Boom, you're hit with a charge. Now everything's in question. You don't know what the hell's going on with your life. Like it's like, dude, what do you mean? That's beyond being 21 years old, a human element. As even a grown ass adult, you'd be fucking like that's a stressful moment. And regardless, dude, you've seen him on the field produce in national championship games, like actual games. Why do we give this much of a? I don't want to swear too much. This much of an F about him running through pads and not humans. Like, I don't understand. Like, Osiris Torrance is the number 1 guard in this draft class. Jalen Carter has tape against Osiris Torrance, and Jalen Carter's winning.
Yeah, he's working.
He's working. He's
working.
Osiris Torrance. Jalen Carter grabs him like a grown ass man, and he throws him back into an athletic mobile quarterback named Anthony Richardson. Like it's all
right. It's okay. Hold on. It was just one of those things. LeBay likes to do this. It's all good. It's all good. Jay Pook, counterpoint. Those guys have other dudes handling their money. Yes, they do. So, Jay Pook, we have on Twitch. We have a conversation. They're talking about dragons now since you gave the dragon story. So I said I would be a better dragon, or I wish I could be a dragon. And they're going like, who's a better dragon, D-Mac or Carter? And then I said D-Mac. And then they said, is he an actual dragon? And I probably. Anyway, and then he goes, is Osiris Torrance a better dragon than Carter, though?
No, he's not.
No.
I think the tape would suggest that. But, I mean, Osiris still held his own. I'm not like bad or anything like that. I just get
hey, man, we don't typically do and talk in the chat today, so we're gonna give the listeners kind of like a little bit more engagement, which is fun. For that second, that's what they got. So anyway, moving on. So all right, so the Lions are picking at 6 and 18. Okay, we're gonna get back in the draft here. All right, so 6. My question to you: do you think if you had to, based on reading the tea leaves right now, okay, we got Marvin Jones back, which is interesting, right? Obviously, replacing DJ Chark, a little bit of a downgrade, but they had the same numbers based on your show. You guys did the numbers, right?
Yeah.
Do you remember those numbers offhand?
Yeah, I think for Chark it was like 536, and like Marvin Jones was like 508. I want to say Marvin Jones started 10 games, Chark played 11,
and they both had 3 TDs.
Yeah, both had 3 touchdowns. It was eerily similar. I will say this though, to the Marvin Jones point, is he only started the 10 games, but he played at least 16. Well, at least it says, like, you know what I'm saying, available for 16.
Sure.
So, but he only started, actually 10. But yeah, the numbers are actually like pretty similar, which is like kind of crazy if you want to take a spin on that one.
And what are we paying him again?
I want to say up to 5. It's like $3 million, but up to 5.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong.
With incentives? Yeah, it sounds about right.
I'm going to look up Chark's numbers too.
That's
I could
fine.
be wrong.
So Marvin Jones back. So we replaced Chark. Okay, great. And Chark had ankle surgery too. So that was huge point. Like, will he be ready to go, or like really ready to go? I mean,
Chark,
that's
508 yards, and Marvin Jones 502 yards, and Marvin Jones had 529. So I got that part mixed up.
Okay, that's all right. And then I think it's similar contracts, right? What did Chark get?
Chark got $5 million too. Yeah.
Right. So I mean,
it might even be cheaper actually.
What's that?
I could have got that mixed up too. Marvin Jones contract. I'm looking it up right now.
God, I'm wearing my new sweater, the new champion. It's too hot. I'm sweating over here.
Doesn't have actual numbers on here yet for Marvin Jones. $3 million, up to 5. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. At least I got that right.
All right, for sure. Anyways, Jay Pook trading up to 3 for Bijan confirmed. Thanks, Jay Pook. I know you like Bijan. So anyways, all right. So the wide receiver thing. So we got Chark replaced and with somebody potentially healthier. So to me, that's good. Great, we did that. Do I think we still get a wide receiver in the draft? Yes. Do I know where? No. In the first round? No, probably not. Okay. Wide receivers aside. 6th pick. We have a lot of action, a lot of talk of people moving up to 3.
Mm-hmm.
What is your take on those, and who is looking at moving up to 3? I heard you guys talk about it, but like, do you want to give your 2 cents on what you see right now those trying to move up to 3?
In terms of like NFL, like who's moving to 3, or if the Lions going to move to 3?
Well, the Lions, right? If the Lions were to move to 3, right, we'd have to give up a bunch. But like, there's other teams.
Yeah,
like 3's
I
up
don't
for
see it.
grabs, right? Is what we're.
Yeah, I don't even like I obviously like I heard the PFF stuff. Like they want the Lions to move up to grab Richardson like last week or something like that. But it just I don't even see it as a realm of reality. Like it's I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me. Like why would you give up the assets to do it when like it's still very much a question mark and like albeit I'm not like I don't believe in golf as much as like a lot of the Lions fan base does, but like you still have him. You know what I'm saying, so I don't know if you, I don't know. And he seems not to. Speaking of like under pressure situations, like when he first got traded here from LA, like we saw a broken man, and like I don't know, like you want to hurt his spirit again by moving up in the draft to like grab a quarterback, and you're definitely not moving up to draft Jalen Carter. I don't think he's a threat to be going off the board until at least 5. And by the way, I don't think Seattle's taking him either because it just signed Draymond Jones from the Denver Broncos, and they gave him a pretty fat contract. Like, I don't think the Lions are moving up to 3. No, and that's another part too. Is like it's a lot of bidders for that spot, And could the Lions outbid them? Sure, we do have the 2 first-round picks this year, but like
that's exactly what I was thinking. Is now that it's up for it's so up for grabs and people are interested in it. I don't think we go and we sit where we are and we get the best players we can get. I mean, really, I think that's it. I thought there was a chance, and I did think that for a minute, I was on the Richardson train. Like, look, like, why not do it now? Like, let's pop up real quick. But now that I hear everybody thinking of doing that, I don't think that's the play, right? You take 6, you take 18. Maybe you move up from 18 if there's one of your guys, right? If you got to move up a couple spots like they did last year. I don't think they're going to reinvent the wheel here. But I do think you take the best player at 6. And now here's a question. Best player at 6 right now for you, right? Okay, I know it's a loaded question, but let's say Richardson's off the board. Let's say the quarterbacks are done, right? So Will Anderson's probably gone. 4. Okay, so then who's going next in what you're hearing, right? You're in some circles. Don't let anybody fool you. He's got some knowledge, guys. He's got some connections.
Last year, our circle got circled last year. But I did meet. Our circle got circled last year. Yeah, exactly. To be fair, though, that happens often where players told he's going to be drafted by a certain team and doesn't happen.
No, dude, it's lying season, right?
Yeah,
circle
exactly.
got square. J Pook.
I don't have any circle information right now, but like
what?
No, not right now. You know what? My circle actually did try calling me today. I'm texting when I leave here, but
text him right now. Live, questionable podcast, live update. You've heard it here first. Breaking news.
I should.
Questionable tease.
Kind of like, hey, call me. I was even thinking about it that way. Maybe you had some circling. But shoot, man, it's tough because like I listened to that Dan Campbell presser last week. It was the scrum. It was like a bunch of people, and I don't know if he's like trying to put on a poker face, which if I'm being honest with you guys, I don't think Dan Campbell's the best at. We've seen him cry at the podium. Like if he was, if he had any kind of poker face, I don't know that would have happened. But at the scrum, it seemed like he wasn't the biggest Jalen Carter fan when he dropped that interesting line. But then the day before, when Brad spoke to the media, he had mentioned, your frontal lobe isn't fully developed. He wouldn't want people to know about some of the decisions he made at that age, like. So it's and then this is tying into way too much. I'm just connecting a couple dots.
You're fine.
It's going a little bit too long. So following that, Dan Campbell did another interview with Tim 20 Minutes one-on-one. And it's to me, it sounds like he talked about how like when him and Brad have a disagreement, like they'll have disagreements, you know what I'm saying? But they'll sit on it, they'll go home, disagree, and they'll come back. Maybe it's like 2 days, whatever, but they'll come to a conclusion afterwards. To me, just going off of what Campbell said at his scrum about like interesting, and then Brad saying his thing, I feel like Campbell doesn't want Carter, Brad does, and then vice versa when it comes to the quarterback conversation. Because like Campbell mentioned, Jared Goff bought his time. He had mentioned Jared Goff's not going to be here for 10 years or whatever, and then Brad has like actual connections at Goff because of the LA stuff like that. So I feel like vice versa on each one of those situations. But we never know, man. You never really know. This is Lion season. Maybe that was Dan Campbell's best poker face performance, and they do take Carter at 6. I know one thing: I don't want Cansey at 6, and I know that's like growing popularity, but like that's just wild for me. I think you talk about trading up. I think they're more likely to trade back. To be honest, with you.
I don't think they trade back. You think they trade back? Like how many? Like how far back? I guess that's my question. Like from 6 to 8, there, like 6 to 9.
Hey, nice 69.
Yes, I think we got it.
I don't know if you meant to do that or not. Maybe
I did.
Because here's the thing: is like, okay, you want to address the defensive tackle spot. Well, like here's the reality: is like Kalijah Cansey's not a top 10 pick, in my opinion, and a lot of people's opinions. If you do these mock drafts or look at these mock drafts, he's nowhere near the sorts from like actual people within that have circles, bigger circles than me, more circles than me, and like. If that's a target for you, you don't have to take it at 6. Why not get more value and add a pick to somebody who wants to move up to possibly take a Will Levis or something like that, and then grab Cansey at like 13 or something, if that's your target. But Brad said too, he doesn't care. He doesn't care about positions. He doesn't care about depth chart. It's really like a BPA type of situation.
Right. Right. That's the thing. And he says that too, like it's lying season. Come on, let's be real. Right, it's lying season. I don't think they do. I mean, Anthony Richardson is gone, so it doesn't matter. I mean, I think, right, if we are able to shore up our defense, right, Jalen Carter at 6, I mean, I honestly think that's fair. I do. If he can be the guy on the tape, right, that's the thing we talk about. If he can be that guy on the tape, and again, I said this last week, what better organization to draft him than the Lions? If we all preach about the culture that we have and what we can do with people, right? If that's what we're all talking about, and we have for 2 years now, and the culture is the core of this team, right? Yeah. The brand new Lions and what we can do. And I've been calling it the rehab facility for the NFL. I don't know if you caught that, but I mean, hey, come rehab your career. Come to Detroit. And hey, it's happened, man. Some guys have left and gotten better contracts, right? I mean, look at Kaminsky. I mean, these guys are doing it. So, and leadership. So if we have that culture, then this is the place for a Jalen Carter. Now, can we predict that he won't do it again or so on and so forth? No, you can't. It's a risk, of course. But they have, and again, that's why they're doing their due diligence. And what Dan Campbell said is we talked to some players and we found out some stuff you guys don't know. I mean, like they're doing their research. So if they draft him, they must know or think that they can help him grow as a man and get the best out of him. Because if we can, and that's the guy, I mean, you put Jalen Carter in what we think he can be. I mean, come on.
Oh my goodness.
You lock up the D right there for the next how many years? Right, done.
And Aleem came on that second half of the year too. I'm talking Aleem McNeil currently in the Lions.
Gian Hendricks loves Aleem.
Who?
Gian, yeah, he loves Aleem.
Dude, that game against the New York Giants, he was all over the place. You already kind of have at least a certified starter in him. He would just do so. Dude, it would be great. But yeah, to your point though about the Lions culture, I agree too. And again, I think what's happening is people are just hearing the same recycled news because it's off season. There's really not that much to talk about. But here's some breaking news. And this is not a circle thing. This is public information today. Drew Rosenhaus, Jalen Carter's agent, said that he's only taken meetings with top 10 teams.
Yeah.
Drew Rosenhaus is a well-known name in the NFL circles as an agent.
We heard
he's
that.
Been around a long time. I'm sure he knows what the hell he's kind of talking about when it comes that situation. Jalen Carter is very much in play for top 10 because it's not like he was dropped onto the earth this year. He's had a whole life up until this moment. This is the one screw up, to be fair, that we know about, but the one screw up to have happened. And to speak of the Lions culture, he won a championship last year alongside Jordan Davis and Nakobe Dean, which were the leaders in that locker room. Jordan Davis wasn't a dickhead then because he had those leaders in the locker room.
Yeah.
When he comes here to Detroit, guess what he's going to have? Leaders in the locker room. I guarantee you, Penei Sewell ain't allowing that shit that you saw against Missouri, where he's trying to start a fight or something like that. That's just not going to happen here in Detroit. I have faith in Dan Campbell and the rest of the guys too.
All right, so that's great. I appreciate that, and that all makes sense. So I asked, right? I said I'm asking the crew what their questions are. So based on what I just said, Jay Pook asked, when you talk about Lions culture, what do you mean? right? So I'll lead this off,
That's
and
a great question.
you can add on or disagree if you want. But when we talk about Lions culture, we've talked about it for a while, because to me, when we brought Dan Campbell in and Brad Holmes, I was a big and have been a big culture guy, right?
Yeah.
I played college soccer, right? I played AAA, like I played junior hockey. Like I've been on teams, right? I've been on teams that are great and teams that suck, right? Okay, the great teams had their own culture. And what that means, it had their own belief system and leadership, right? Leadership being the coach, in which, right, the culture is the coach, right? He is the one exuding confidence. He's the one pushing the buttons for all the players, right? Like any coach does. But the difference is great coaches have this sense about them, this confidence, this knowledge, this kind of vision that the team buys into blindly. Like they believe it so much they're willing to do anything for. And so that culture comes from Dan Campbell, right? He came in, talking about kneecaps, all this stuff, and everybody blew him off because that was so like, oh my gosh, who is this guy? This guy's an idiot. What he was doing, though, was he was going so far beyond where he needed to go to pull it back to get where he's at today. So he had to change the culture so hard from Patricia. He had to go to Mars to course correct, right?
Yeah.
So it's like when you're steering a boat, you don't steer it all the way to the left. You go like you have to go so far to come back. So I think, to me, so culture starts with Dan Campbell, right? That's where the culture starts. Now, the support of the culture comes from Sheila and Holmes. That's the support, right? They're supporting him and his vision of what he needs and what's going on.
The team too.
And then the team on the other side. So that's where the coach is in the middle, leadership's on one side, and the team's on the other. And that pushes this forward. But to me, the culture is the vision of what Dan Campbell sees for his team. That's the culture. It's the easy way to put it. And to add on to that, it's Jamal Williams. It's that sense of like comfortability in being yourself. It's giving people room to be themselves and feel confident. That's what, when we talk about being questionable, right? Dan Campbell is a pillar of that. Simone Biles, when she said, "No, I'm not gonna perform because my team's gonna do better than I am." That's knowing yourself to a degree and feeling confident in someone giving you that room to be confident in yourself. So Sheila and Brad Holmes are giving room to Dan Campbell to be himself. That gives Dan Campbell room to give his coaches and the players room to be themselves. So that, to me, is a culture which you cannot find a lot of places, because a lot of people are control freaks. A lot of people want to see the details. A lot of people want proof of if you did your job or did.
That's it for me.
Like if you didn't, did you go do your weights? Did you go do this? No, and the end of the day, it's this trust. It's a trust tree. Are we not in the trust tree? I thought we were in the trust tree. Shout out, old school. But to me, that's what culture is, and that's what we've talked about. But I think that's encompassing. I think that's a kind of a good way to put it. But what do you think, E?
Yeah, I think the culture that they built is like similar to what you said. I think a coach is a man, or the leader of the team, at least, that's able to articulate a message to each individual, because that's what every player is an individual. Like the way Jamal operates and is all crazy is different from the way that Jared Goff operates. Like they're different human beings. Or what a good coach is able to do, he's able to articulate the message and meaning to each every individual and how they need to receive it. And I think what you mentioned something too is like he allows people to be themselves. He just allows them to exist as like who they are, and they're all driven towards a common goal. And I think that's what the culture has built itself to, is like Dan Campbell's been very up forth and front with of like what this team was at, where it was at, both in media and to the team themselves. And I think it's like it builds, like that you said, that trust, and that like they needed to grow from that. It was shit. And not just like the team like existing then, the team, what it's been throughout history, even his time as a Detroit Lion. And what he's established then is like we need to not be like, we need to work hard to not be this. Like I know what it is to be fucking shitty, and each one of these coaches too, a lot of them been and Super Bowls, Pro Bowls. I mean, Dan Campbell been to the Super Bowl, lost it. Antoine Randall went to the Super Bowl with the Steelers and won it. Like, there's that trust that these guys know what the fuck they're talking about because they've been there, done that. And the culture to me is like team has now grown faith in them.
Right.
It's like, this is what we need to do to win games. If you listen to like the press conferences earlier when the Lions were losing, Dan Campbell was like, yeah, a lot of these guys on the defense are just not trusting each other to try and make up for like other people's like, role versus just, trusting what the coaches tell them and just do your role. Well, they've hit that now. And now they're able to hold themselves accountable to that because they've tasted the success after doing so. So like the team's now accountable of listening to the coaches and what they're saying because they've now fully bought in because they saw like the rewards from it too. And that's the culture we're talking about Jalen Carter's being brought into is like they've turned around or seemingly have turned around because they've gone to playoffs or won a playoff game yet. But they've seemingly turned around what Detroit's Lions have always been, which is absolute, complete fucking garbage. And they busted their ass to do it. The coach and Brad Holmes been bluntly honest about it, when they're getting cut and stuff like that too. And like when Jalen Carter comes to that situation, after they feel they've already overcome something and turned the page,
if he comes,
yeah, they're not going to allow him to be a shithead to ruin that because they've all busted their ass to get to where they're at right now. To earn enough respect to be called, the division favorites for next year. That's what it is to me. Like that's the culture you're being brought into. And by the way, too, this is also an impressionable young man. Like here's one thing too I've noticed. Like working in this industry, I'm still older than like a lot of these athletes that I meet. And even though I think they're way fucking cooler than me and bigger than me, stronger than me, they're still impressionable young minds. So you got to remember that part too about Jalen Carter who headed into the situation. Like he's going to be in a locker room with people that's been in the NFL, guys that've been in Super Bowls. Like it's going to fall in line automatically the same way it did when Kobe Dean and Jordan Davis were in the Georgia locker room. Like that's just how things naturally fall in line sometimes. I don't think he's been known to be like a head case outside of that one situation at Missouri. And if there's a video of that too, by the way. So I use the wrong word saying head case, like it's just being an asshole. But like, I think it's being overblown a bit just because, again, the news cycle is kind of dry. And it's the one hot story to keep bringing up because it is really interesting. Like, what the hell is going to happen with this kid?
Yeah. Yeah. And again, like, I think that Carter would be more of a distraction, right? More than, so people are asking, like, if it's, how would the team handle someone like Carter being a culture detractor? And so my comment was like, I think it's more of a distraction. We don't know how he is in the locker room. He could be a great locker room guy, right? Mm-hmm. He could be great in the room. Like, and again, we have to remember this is two different things, right? So this is in the locker room and this is outside the locker room. So outside the locker room is a distraction, right? He could be a culture guy in the locker room, on the field and everything, but it's a distraction. To me, these are two separate things. We're talking about culture. We're talking about those that can be a part of the culture and how, like, Dan can form us to that. And to me, this is a distraction. It doesn't change the culture. It just will change the way in which leadership will handle this person, right? We won't.
That's even if he is that version of like the
correct.
The bad
and we don't know.
I almost feel like he's heading in a situation to prove everything else against that. You know what I'm saying? Like the type of dirt is being thrown on his name, and because this really is the only like time we've like this is his only incident, man. It really is.
Right. And I do want to bring up the Tunsil, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Warren Sapp. Like, I mean, like, come on. It's like, okay.
Tons of people. Tyreek Hill.
Now, I don't want to get into it because JB did with you. I don't want to get into that too much, right? So for those that haven't listened, go check out Woodward Heavyweights. They interviewed Coach JB from Last Chance U. Yeah, that was amazing. It was a great 15 minutes. And so if those haven't seen it, go check it out. But right now, after. So, but he talks about, right, like this, like there are situations like this everywhere with current players, with like, this is not like news, guys. Like Coach JB was like, no, like this is another day. This is just something right now before we know what this guy can do in the NFL. That's what this is. This is just preemptive. Like, if this guy can play like the ball like Tyreek Hill, nobody cares. What did Tyreek do? Kareem Hunt. Who else did he say?
Hernandez.
Joe Mixon.
Aaron
Hernandez. I mean, look at these guys.
Ray Lewis.
Ray Okay. So
The list
now
goes on and on. There's some people, Ben Roethlisberger, like it's
motorcycle and then some, right? Like,
yes.
and then some, which we
Yes.
haven't heard about. So now I don't know, right? And the Lions have previously been like, we're not doing that, right? That's why we didn't get Kareem Hunt. That's why we didn't do a lot of things. And so maybe this is one of those moments.
Yeah.
And maybe not. I don't know. And we will see. Again, we can go ahead. Go ahead. Miko. I was going to call you Miko.
Success. Great success. No.
Success. No, wait. Do a Mikoism. Ready, set, go.
Hi, I'm Miko. I love having sex with my wife. Miko's always talking about banging his wife
Oh,
on
no.
Twitter.
Oh, boy. Hey, man, he loves his wife. Hey, hey,
sure.
hey,
dope.
that's what's
super
up.
dope.
No,
Yeah.
that's
Everybody should want to.
Miko.
Yeah.
That's
Anyway,
where
we're
he
done
goes.
talking about Miko
No,
banging
that's
his
where he
wife.
goes. Oh, okay.
There's a very
Shout out,
specific
Miko.
term-
Miko's not going to be sick again ever.
Hey, his wife should be proud of him. But anyway, there's a very specific term that Brad Holmes used, and I think this reflects in a way too in actions we've seen by J-Mo recently. But high football character is like what they're looking for, specifically from Brad Holmes himself. High football character, not church going, not walking grandmas across the street. High football character, meaning like,
Right.
Can you hold yourself accountable on the football team to get better and help your team get better? You know what I'm saying? Like be responsible to yourself, hold yourself accountable in those means. And I think you've seen that a little bit with J-Mo. Like J-Mo did like some asshole shit. And I love J-Mo. And I'm not like saying, but like, and you know me, I'm not
What
the biggest
asshole
Jared Goff
shit?
fan, but for him to go liking those Lamar Jackson tweets is like blatantly disrespectful. Lamar Jackson tweets, Lamar Jackson Instagram posts specifically about him coming to Detroit. That's blatantly disrespectful.
Wait. Can you elaborate on this?
Like, oh, you haven't seen that yet? Heard about that?
Talk to me. No, it's just for those that haven't heard. I don't know.
Okay. So 2 weeks ago, when Lamar Jackson's being rumored to become a Detroit Lion, or people just throwing him in the jersey and firing out there as a tweet or Instagram post, the very first one came in the form of a tweet of somebody saying like, yeah, the Detroit Lions need to go get Lamar Jackson. He's an upgrade over Goff, blah, blah, blah. And then, on Twitter, you go to somebody's likes and, under Scotty,
J-Mo
you see
hit
all the
it.
porn. Under J-Mo's,
You see all the. I don't know. This is definitely the questionable podcast this week, you guys. Thanks for this is very ADD podcast today because I'm running it. But anyway, go ahead.
You're good. I got ADD too. But anyway, under J-Mo's, he liked that tweet talking about bringing Lamar Jackson to Detroit. And
Right.
then, backlash happens. And then following that, so after everyone's well aware of it, it's been made publicly. We talked about it on our talk shows and stuff like that. There's another Instagram post. And he not only does he like it of Lamar Jackson in the Lions jersey, he comments it and goes, yeah, third slide, fire.
Oh, my
gosh.
gosh.
Lamar Jackson in a Detroit Lions jersey. Like, bro. But that's a Brad Holmes guy. That's a Dan Campbell guy. They traded up to get him. But it's not because of what he is off the field. He's a high football character. He's a great football player.
Well,
He has that high
and with
football
that,
character.
I'll add on, right? He was getting fussy at the end of the season when he didn't get the ball and he get in the game. Yeah, that's it.
Mhm.
But this is where, and here's the thing I think we all have to understand, right? If we want to win, we're going to have players like this, right?
Yeah.
Right? Like Gardner Johnson, like, dude, we're going to have to get badasses on this team that are they're going to push people. They're going to not make friends, but they want to win. And that's something that we don't know. We have not been on NFL teams. And you have to understand these are the alpha of alpha men that are literally going into battle every week that want to win. You got to want to win so bad. You're willing to hurt the other person. And that's hard for us to understand. We don't put ourselves in their shoes enough. Not that we ever could, but we really don't think about that. And I do think with all the injuries that happen, I'm surprised there's not more, right? I've broken my tib fib, tore my Achilles, broken lots of bones in my body. Just playing soccer, right?
Yeah.
No pads there. I have more injuries in soccer than hockey, which is hysterical, by the way.
That's
so
crazy.
yeah, it is. But my point is, like, you have to be alpha. You have to, like, now there's a line to that. You can do it the right way. And I think the lines right now are, right? They're creating a team, right? With Panay and Hutch, right? And you got these guys that are, we got the right squad. We got the right base. Now, you're going to have to reach for these guys that are going to really push the locker room. And you need guys like Panay and Hutch to keep that center together, though, right? Those are the guys you draft to keep the core, right? To keep that culture we've talked about, right? That we're going to work for each other and do all that. We lost Jamal.
Yeah.
So that's, that's a voice out, but we still have those players that are the core, right? Ragnow, right? These guys that started this, right? You're going to think, and that's why I'm saving these, all these MCDC, this first season, last year, I'm going to keep these, and this will be the year in which, like, we'll print on them, or, like, I'll have them stitch or embroider or sign by some of the players. Like, that'll be the year we know we turned it around. Oh, 0-6, like, right? Like, that. This will be fun. So, all right, we've spent enough on this. Let's move on. Let's move on. Is there anything else you want to add? I think we're good on that. 6 pick
competitiveness. I feel like is what they
culture
want to breed as their culture, is like the nonstop competitiveness. That's what it is.
Okay, and I wanna hop into, like, Calais Campbell signed with Atlanta. How big of a what do you think about that? I want to ask you first, like, how, like,
definitely a miss if you plan on bringing Jalen Carter in this locker room. But
wait, say that again. Say that again. If you're not bringing,
definitely a miss if you plan on bringing Jalen Carter in that locker room
as a leader for Jalen.
What?
You're saying as a leader, Calais could have been a leader for Jalen, or like a mentor for Jalen?
Definitely miss if you plan on bringing him, just because, like, that's Calais Campbell. Everybody's well aware of him. He's still productive. A lot of people want Ed Oliver. That, like, pissed me off. I didn't get that at all. He's not even like a top 15 guy at his position. Or Calais Campbell at 37 years old was still outproducing him. But when I saw the reason why, Calais Campbell's a former Walter Payton Man of the Year award recipient, meaning, like, he's always giving back to community. He's been like that type of guy. The deciding factor of him choosing Atlanta over other people was that Arthur Blank had called him and talked about, like, what type of charitable efforts he'd like to make or contribute to.
That's what sold him?
Yeah.
Wow, yeah. Sheila blew it.
Yeah, but again,
Lions fans.
Lions fans.
It's okay. I don't have a drop, but I always just sing it. Lions fans.
You would think that, like, winning or all that stuff would be, but he's such, like, a good guy that, like, that's what sold him, was like, yo, this guy wants to help me.
Jay Pook says, good call, E.
What'd you
say? Jay Pook on Twitch said, good call, E, and what you were saying.
Good call, D?
E. No, easy. E. Good call, Easy. Yeah. Compliment. I'm trying to give compliments in with the questions. Like, that's fine.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yeah, so that's how we want the charitable organization. What?
Yeah. Yep.
So that's, to me, that's a salesman. Arthur Blank's a salesman, though, right?
Sure.
You get those just salesmen, like, hey, tell me everything about this guy. What's the most important thing to him? His charities. Okay. Hey, what charity? Like, that's all that is. Like, find out everything, which is fine.
Yeah.
But that's an owner doing it. I think that, in my opinion, what we've seen, Sheila's put her trust in Holmes. And Holmes is making these deals, right? And Holmes, in the Holmes way, which I appreciate, and I think that's great. And so it's okay. I don't think that that's a problem. I think, yes, you're right. It would be a great mentor for Jalen Carter. So maybe we don't go Jalen Carter, right? Maybe Jalen Carter's off the board, but we're just not saying it too, right?
Las Vegas took him off the board reportedly last week.
Correct. And then we had a cryptic Dan Campbell. Yeah, we talked to his teammates. It was very interesting. Like, okay. So that could be like, oh, we found out that he like lied for some other players, and he's such a team player. He was lying for some. I mean, I went the other way of, like, how good could he be? Right? Everyone's going, like, he's not ready. And, like, my thought was, like, dude, I've been in situations in college which I'd lied for, like, my friends, my bros. Like, I lied for them straight up and got in trouble, and, like, doesn't matter. Like, we don't know the whole situation. Like, maybe he did something to protect 3 players and he got in trouble. I mean, not that it makes it better, but that's a different conversation than, like, yo, this guy's an idiot. It is a different
what I think
conversation.
happened was, I think Jalen's camp had given out some information that conflicted with whatever information that his teammate had to share. You know what I'm saying? Or if I want to put a positive spin on it for the people who want to look at it positively,
like,
which
dude,
I don't.
why can't we flip it both ways? We're detectives at this point because we don't know what's what.
Dan Campbell also could be playing mind games to like. Remember, like, you ever like got in trouble by your parent and they like played like they knew what you did right along, so you just fess up to it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
saying like and then when you ask him, like, yeah,
you
like,
might as well tell me what you did. I already know.
That's what's up.
Maybe he's setting that up because they are scheduled to meet with them. It could be,
I give a drop on that. That's a good point. I didn't think about that.
If you want to look at a positive spin, but to be honest though,
or any spin, no, that could be a negative spin too. Like we know you're lying about all of this, and we found out. Either way, it's like, hey, your boy. Hey, we talked to your team. They told us. Is there anything you want to tell us, Jalen?
Exactly. That was really good. Dan Campbell voice.
Oh, that was actually my dad. I was it was imitating my father.
Is your dad from down south?
Larry. No.
Do it again. That was actually like really.
My dad's hysterical. He's a one of a kind. One of a kind.
I can't do. Every time I try to do a Dan Campbell, it comes out Obama. I don't know. Or like Stone Cold or something. I don't even fucking. I don't know. I can't do a Dan Campbell impersonation.
Yeah, it's all good. I was just down with them in Florida. I took a week off, first week vacation in years. We went down. My parents got a place in Key Largo, Islamorada, so we got to go down.
Tell me the story in Dan Campbell's voice, though.
Well, we went down to Florida, right? That's too like WWE though, isn't it?
Or sometimes it turns into like, who's that one guy? Like,
I don't.
Well, like that guy. I don't know who he is, but he can do his voice.
Well, hold on, I got to get the right. Well,
you killed it the first time. It tripped me out. I'm like,
really?
Drop?
Yeah, that was just my dad. I'll just imitate my dad. Well, we like the guy. It's not a big deal. We like the guy. We want to do the research, and we'll see after I got 5 more coffees to get through, but we'll see how I feel after that. Next question.
Yeah. That's
next question.
To doing it is like imitating your dad. That's pretty.
Is that it? Where he goes?
That's way better than whatever the hell you're trying to do before. Yeah. For sure.
Well, next question. He's got. Anyways, all right. So, all right, we got a couple more minutes here. So everybody listening, YouTube, Twitch. Okay, now is the time. Throw your questions in. I know you guys have put some questions in. Some of them have been questionable. Haha, J-Pook. In team, but like throw a couple questions you want to ask E and myself. We got 5-10 minutes left, right, E, and then we'll wrap it up. I know you got to go. So my question right now is for you, and I'm gonna start this off easy. At 18, what do we do? Do you think? Okay, wait. Let me hold on. I'll caveat this.
Okay.
With the thought of potential. Okay, we stay at 6. We draft at 6.
Who do we take at 6?
Oh, boy. That's a loaded question. And it doesn't really matter in this, right? Because once you get to 10, it doesn't matter.
I don't know who we took at 6 before I just take somebody at 18.
Okay, well, we're not taking Gonzalez at 6. That's not happening. In my reality, in Scotty Questions reality, we're not taking Gonzalez at 6. Not happening.
Okay, so who?
I mean, it depends on if Jalen Carter's there. We might take Jalen Carter.
You want to say Jalen Carter?
Let's say Jalen Carter or no. Well, we've had this whole conversation. Yeah, I'm going to. Miko, the inner Miko said, "Yo, stick to your guns." Yes, we take Carter at 6. Let's say we take Jalen Carter at 6. Everybody listening, deal with it. I don't care. Let's say we take him at 6, just hypothetically. At 18,
yeah.
Do we potentially move up? And if we do, right, we've seen a lot of mock drafts. Let's say we go up to 14. Like, who floats around in the 12, in the 10 to 15 round, or 10 to 15 pick that you like? I guess is my question. Let's say we go from 18 up. Let's say he gets aggressive again with the second pick, because I think he likes to do this. Like, no, we're going to take who we take at 6, and I'm going to get crafty with our second pick. I think he does this again. I do. So if he does it, who do we do it for? That's my question to you.
Well, I feel like you should answer that. You're the one thinking he's gonna trade up. I don't know if he's gonna trade up.
No,
Who do you think?
no, I'm hosting this. I'm asking you the question.
I mean, I have a guy I'd say, but I don't know that he would trade up to do this.
Who?
But
Who's your guy after 10? I guess is my question. Like, who's your guy after 10?
he did such a great job in free agency, man. He really can just do whatever you want.
I know, but hold it. Hear me out. I know, but like, who's your favorite in 10 to 20? But like 10 to like after 10, like who's your 8? Let's say 8 to 12. Who's your favorite? I'm trying to get.
Oh, for sure, Witherspoon.
Okay, Witherspoon,
or maybe even Gonzalez, but Witherspoon first for me.
And we don't think Gonzalez or Witherspoon last till 18, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so
or maybe Porter
or what?
Joey Porter. That's another one.
Ooh, I
18,
like.
though.
See, I like Porter.
I like Porter a lot too.
I like Porter. And where do we
there's
think?
Something to be said about that bloodline? Like I really
Correct.
Yes. Look at J.C. Horn right now. One of the better corners in the game.
Yeah, we talk about culture, and we talk about guys with the
Asante
motor,
Jr.
like
Antoine Winfield Jr. Like these kids, they're all the dads played, and they're beasts.
Right. It's like I hate to bring this up, but like the Draft Day movie, like it's like the dad. It's like, no, you're gonna do it right. It's like, yes, sir. No, but there's something to be said for it, and I think
for sure.
And I'm gonna correlate it to the Red Wings. I know everybody's pissed about the Wings, and we're behind in the rebuild. But
Patrick Surtain, sorry.
No, you're fine. It's all. What I'm trying to compare is like Yzerman is drafting players that have parents that have these like hockey. They have like hockey parents. So like they are grown and raised the right way in which to appreciate. Yes, eat, breathe, and appreciate though leadership. Right. It's one of those things. Is structure. Right.
Yeah.
And I don't mean any offense, but it's like it's this facility in which he knows he can get the best out of them. In Yzerman, I'm talking Yzerman and the Red Wings, right? This Marco Kasper guy played last night, first time, 18-year-old. He was the MVP Marco Kasper is the guy we drafted last year, and he got the MVP in the Swedish league. At 18, he had his first NHL start last night against the Maple Leafs. Had a good game, nothing crazy. Better than Osgood's, who got 5 goals scored on him, but still Osgood, Hall of Famer. So anyway, no, but it's more of a long play, but it's still the same type of drafting the people that have the heart, that have the effort, right, and then the vision. So again, maybe Jalen Carter doesn't fit into that. Everybody that's listening, maybe that doesn't. Okay, and that's fine. Okay, but we were just saying that like to get us to. But the Porter thing is interesting. That could be interesting. So,
yeah, and I don't get why a lot of people like to freak out about. I don't get the camp that's like freaking out about taking a corner early when you look at like all the corners up until Jeff Okuda that's been taken within the top 10 are all successful corners. Outside of Okuda and Henderson, you have Surtain, Stingley, Gardner. Another one I'm missing too, but they're beasts, every single one. Like we, unfortunately, probably just had the worst swing at it with Okuda, and some of that could be because they were drafting out of quarantine. Some of it could be because of the injuries, and we're not really giving them a fair shake. I mean, I don't know, but like the corners that have been taken early, especially as of late, have all panned out.
Yeah, that's interesting. So all right, so we're gonna go back to the chat real quick. Everybody, thanks for tuning in. We appreciate you. We're looking at everything. Yeah, you guys have been clowning tonight because we're clowning, right? When Dad's away, the kids will play. Miko's not here, so we're gonna have fun. I mean, no offense to Miko, but Miko keeps us on. I'm just all over. All right, so Hulk Hogan does a killer. Dan Campbell, Jay Pook, that's funny. Dan Campbell is your dad. I guess. That's a good T. Dan Campbell is your dad. I think I'm gonna have to do that. That's a questionable T right there. Dad. Dan Campbell is your dad. Like that, how many people?
To Brian Dabble and Robert Salah. People kept saying they're
we could also ship those shirts out. Dan Campbell is your dad. Yeah. And we could ship them to teams we beat. Here's 20 shirts.
Dan Campbell's the king of New York, the reigning king of New York. By the way,
all right, hold on. You heard it here first. We're gonna send every team we beat next year Dan Campbell's your dad T-shirts.
I love it.
I think that's great. Hulk.
That's hilarious.
That's actually really funny. I don't know how we do that, but let's Miko. Oh my God, I did it again.
Did anybody else say in the chat like, "Damn, yeah, that was kind of a good Dan Campbell," or what?
No, they did.
That was crazy.
J Pook did.
Your dad.
But that's why he was giving me shit about my dad. Dan Campbell's your dad. J Pook, Bijan at 6, tight end at 18. Okay. And then he goes, and then he followed. No. J Pook's he's one of our. He goes way back with us. J Pook's a good guy, but
he wants to tight end at 18.
No, he likes to do this.
Show.
Stop.
Tight end at 18. What are we doing?
No, stop. But he says draft day, quote unquote, Bijan Robinson. No matter what, he's playing around.
I like Bijan.
No, I know, but come on, man. It's a questionable podcast. We're playing around. Anyways, that was just funny. Yeah, so Dan Campbell is my father. And yes, Dan Campbell is my dad. So yes, that is a t-shirt. That is what's happening right now.
Dan Campbell is your dad.
That's so good. Like send that to send that to teams. Or what if we did this? What if we gave a bag like a sealed bag of teas to the Lions and they leave it in the guest locker room when they win?
Oh,
they drop it off. Dan Campbell.
That's the move.
Right. Like they drop it off. I got some contacts in Lions marketing. I don't think they'll like it, but I think it's an amazing idea.
I think it's a great idea too.
You just leave it in the center of the locker room. Dan Campbell is your father. Dan Campbell's your dad.
I'm always gonna read it in the way I'm always gonna read it in your voice the way you originally said to, like, Dan Campbell's your dad.
Yeah, I guys, I don't know, it was just a good day, and we did our best, right? You got to ask, you couldn't ask more from Swift, right? Jamal did Jamal things. It's fine. Is that it? Like I'm trying to find it again now.
That was you lost it.
Okay, it's over. It's fine. I'll never find it again.
It'd be like that sometimes.
Yeah, it's fine. All right, so I think that's about it for tonight, guys. I mean, for those that want to ask questions, now's the time. Which injured lineman is Holmes drafting in round 2 this year?
Ooh, that's a good question. Hendon Hooker.
There's your answer.
Is
round 2 for the trenches if we don't select Carter at 6?
Mozzie Smith or Keanu Benton?
I do like Mozzie.
Telling you. A lot of people, that's another thing too, is like,
I do like Mozzie.
A lot of people are jumping straight to Cansey, if not Carter, but
no,
I wouldn't be
like
surprised
Mozzie.
if he waited to the second and got one of those guys, because like he truly can, man. Like he addressed everything he needed to address outside of like linebacker and defensive tackle and free agency. Brad Holmes is him.
Where do you think Witherspoon goes? Right, Gonzalez versus Witherspoon. Do you have a thought? We got a lot going back and forth on Gonzalez versus Witherspoon. What are your thoughts on that? I think Miko, and I'm speaking for Miko, and he can fix this, but I think he likes Witherspoon.
Yeah, I was Gonzalez for a minute there, but then I listened to an interview with Witherspoon, and like some dudes, man, you could tell they just got that dog. And then obviously the numbers support that too. I mean, this dude, I think was like 36 yards.
Well, like Kirby, after we saw his combine interview, remember Kirby? He's like, no. I'll do anything. Like that's
But
and look at what Kirby did though. He did anything. Who else has done that to Aaron Rodgers?
And then the numbers too, like the numbers support it. Like I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is off the top of my head, but I honestly think it might only be like 36 yards he allowed all season last year. And you could say, okay, it's Big Ten. Where did Sauce Gardner come from?
Let me think.
Yeah, but we came it was like a garbage ass conference. You know what I'm saying? Like Sauce Gardner was going against a lesser caliber of talent, and he ended up being one of the fucking best guys in the league.
Now, I will say that's year one. I do want to say that's year one.
Uh-huh.
I do want to say that. I want to see how he performs in year 2. I do. I really do. Because that year didn't count because they lost their guys and they sucked.
What do you mean?
Well, like they didn't Like
The Jets?
yeah.
He was still locking guys down.
No. I know, but I want to see it for year 2 when it matters. I want to see as these games, right, if they get Rodgers and these games matter.
They always matter.
Well, you know my point. You get what I'm saying, right? When
they were in the playoff race, man.
But were
Up
they?
to the end.
But were they?
I mean, they were.
But their quarterback situation was so effed. I mean, come on. I didn't think that was.
If you want something to question Sauce Gardner on, I'll give you this. Anybody listening too, go look at the quarterbacks they played, and you'll be shocked how many backups they got to go against. You'll be pleasantly surprised. That's one of the reasons I took the Lions to beat them this year. I'm like,
because he went against a bunch of backups.
Yeah, he went against like fucking people you don't even know, dude. Not even like known backups, like like backups, like the one dude from Miami that like the rookie, the one guy, Ripken or some shit. Like you don't even know these. I go look at them, and you know what? I'll read you a few. No, actually, I don't care.
Go ahead. No, well, go ahead. No, go ahead. I got time. Hey, I'm here with you. Though, right. If you got time, I got time. I'm in home. You're at the office. You're at the O. We got the crew here hanging around. You know, we got the late night Monday night stragglers that want to talk Lions and hear us get questionable. Well, it's a Monday. That's why we're here. We're the late night Monday stragglers.
All right.
I love it.
Week 1, they played Lamar Jackson. He dropped 24 on them. So, like, they played a good quarterback, dropped 24 points on him. All right. Next week against Cleveland, you know what the quarterback was? Jacoby Brissett.
Okay.
All right. Oh, fudge. All right. Following that week, Joe Burrow, good quarterback, 27 points got put on him. Good quarterback, dumped points on the Jets, right? Following week, Steelers, they played against Kenny Pickett, 10 for 13, and he had 3 interceptions. As his rookie, he's a rookie, right? You're not somebody excited to play. All right, following week, Miami Dolphins. You know who was sorry for them?
Who?
I don't know this guy's first name, S. Thompson. I don't even know.
What's up, Thompson?
Sean? What is it? Something Thompson.
Stefan
Thompson.
Stefan at this point.
Stefan Thompson?
No, I'm kidding. I don't know.
That's the quarterback they played. I'll give him credit for this one. Aaron Rodgers at Lambeau. They've decimated. Only put up 10 points. Next week, Denver.
Skyler. Thanks, J Pook.
Skyler Thompson. Thank you. B. Ripon. You know, I don't know what that means.
It's fine. It does just keep going with the names. Don't say you don't know. Just go. Just give me the names.
Mac Jones.
Terrible.
Josh Allen in the game that he got injured.
Okay.
For his elbow. Following that, Chicago Bears. No, not against Justin Fields, against Trevor Siemian. After that, Minnesota Vikings. Sure, Kirk Cousins, however you want to look at him. Following week again, Bills. Josh Allen. Week after that, the worst one, Jared Goff. I'm just kidding. Jared Goff.
Stop it.
The week after that.
Stop it. We're going to have – I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
The week after that, Trevor Lawrence, 19 points put up on him. Got dominated.
LeBay's going to be mad. LeBay's going to be mad.
Put up 23 points on him. And the last game of the season, they lost to Skylar Thompson. Was that an impressive list of quarterbacks?
No, it's not. That's why I want to say – that's why I'm saying I want to see what he does next year, right? If they get Aaron Rodgers, which I think they will, but who knows, because Jets and Packers are at an impasse of what they want from each other for a guy that doesn't know who he is. For as much as he says, I know who I am, he does not know who he is or what he wants. Let's be clear on that. Guy
don't do drugs.
Yeah, kids, don't. Oh, T-shirt. Oh, my gosh. Another one. Second tee of the night. Don't do drugs. I want
commission, man. I want commission.
No, you will get commission on this for the Aaron Rodgers and the Dean Campbell's your father. Though you're in. You've been in the questionable crew, but now you're in. So we'll just got to run it by Miko. You know, we'll get his buy-in. He's an easy sell. You just got to come on the podcast.
Deal.
That's all. But no, if you had Aaron's face and you said don't do drugs, you know there's a face that he makes I could grab off of a video where he's like,
yeah.
And it's like, don't do drugs. Kids, don't do drugs. Or do dare. No, do dare. I'll do Dare over the top.
Dare.
Right? Dare, and then his face. That's a T. That's a T.
Yes.
That needs a drop. Oh my gosh. Still got it. Ian Scotty coming up with T ideas. All right, last round for last questions, and then we gotta go. We've kept him enough here. He's given us so much.
Appreciate you for having me on.
No, dude, I appreciate you giving the time, man. This has been great. Now, when Miko's on, obviously a little more organized, but I like to get into the nitty gritty of stuff and like the culture and because I've been on teams and so I like to get into the feeling and what it means and a lot of people don't like that. They just want to hear a bunch of topics. Fifth, sixth round pick of Voorhees would be.
You're good. Heavyweights
All right,
just
Steve-O.
AD for 2 hours.
No, I know. That's why I love you guys. Because I listen to it while I work. I'm like, oh, I'm with them. I follow you the whole way, though. I'm like, oh, I'm with it. Fifth or sixth round pick of Voorhees would be a steal. Brad Holmes loves getting his injury discounts. Thoughts on that?
It's fair.
Okay, that's fair. Okay.
It's fair.
Okay.
I can't beef on any late round picks. Who am I to argue a late round pick?
No, I'm just I asked some of their questions and I said
I like Antonio Maffi though. I like Maffi late for sure.
There isn't enough roster spots for 8 picks. Either some of them are going to the practice squad or getting cut. Obviously. That's like, okay, yes. Yeah. Okay. Oh my gosh. All right, Dan Pask with a winner here. Are you ready for this? For the the Dare t-shirt? He goes, Dare dash Ron Rodgers. Cheers.
Yes.
Darren Rodgers.
Rodgers.
I think we have to end the show on that. Dare dash Ron Rodgers. That's it. I think that's it. Dan Pass, you're getting cut in on that. And again, for everybody, hey, while you listen in, right? We're always looking for t-shirt ideas, right? We can print them on demand. I can do anything with tees. I'm the designer. I'll create any sort of graphic. That's what I do. So please, when you listen, if you have ideas, please fire them in, and we will cut you in. We will. I will. That's part of being questionable community. We're going to start Discord, and that's how this is going to go, right? So we're going to start Discord. We're going to get people in with the original OGs of questionable tees, and then we're going to get those that come up with t-shirt ideas. They're going to go in a different chat in the Discord, and you get paid. And this is how this is going to go. This is how we're working this. It's a community like building of apparel for Detroit Lions and Detroit fans. So, and I think, that's the first you're hearing of that, and this is the first I'm sharing of that. But this is what we're doing. I think it's going to be fun. Questionable tees, we will cut you. What?
Whoa. Hey.
Questionable tees dash we will cut you. Wait, please explain.
You're going to cut him? Whoa, dude.
No, hold on. No.
A piece or something. That sounds like you're hitting Jalen Carter territory, dude. You got questionable character issues right now.
No, I think
he's online like that.
No, I think he's saying we'll cut you from the group. Like we'll cut you out. Like if you're not good enough. I think he's saying that he's trying to.
Oh, dude, I'm not drafting that.
Oh, no. He's saying no. He's saying we will cut you in. He goes, didn't put the in. I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh, there you go.
That's guys. Like, come on. Words matter. Okay, can we talk about this? Words matter.
Like,
J Pook, words matter. Okay. Oh my gosh, this has been great. This has been a blast with you, man. I appreciate your time. This is hysterical. Yeah, this is our stuff. A little different, but
we will cut you.
Right,
I want that shirt too.
I think we should do that. We will cut you.
We will cut you.
We will cut you, and then we will cut you in. We will cut you and then a blank space, underscoring.
Dude,
we will cut you.
Voorhees guy, put him on there too.
What's that?
If we draft that Voorhees guy that they're talking about, Jason Voorhees.
Yeah,
we will cut you.
I mean, oh my God, Jay Pook goes words. Yeah, no, words matter. Okay, stop. That's another shirt. Words matter.
I have a friend. That's why I was laughing just now too. I was thinking he was like, he would say F me. And he talked about a player. It was like, oh, it was a player, and then F me. But it's like, yo, whoa, like, what are you saying there, bud? Like, Are you requesting you to be?
Bro,
Never mind.
words matter. Again, words matter. I think that's it, Tate. Words matter.
They matter in text more like than everything for sure. And commas, like grammar, like, you know, can't just be saying Kate Cunningham F me. Like, whoa.
All right. So before we go, do I have you for a couple more minutes? Or you got to go?
Let's wrap it up. Let's do what we got.
I'm just curious. We're good for all those Lions fans. I have a couple questions about the Pistons for E.
Okay.
If that's okay. Like,
Yes.
for those that, so Lions, appreciate you, but I have a couple thoughts, so talk to me about the Pistons. What's happening? Right? Like, I know, so I have a hockey player, played juniors, all the stuff. Like, I know hockey in and out. I get it. I get, like, people are mad and the rebuild's taking longer, but it will be fine. Lions, we're going to be great. Pistons, what the F is going on? Can you give me anything here? Like, what is happening, bro?
Until the lottery and until they find out if they're keeping Dwayne Casey or not.
Dude, we got to get rid of Casey.
Yeah.
We got to get rid of him. Like, come on, what?
Yeah.
Do we
I've been
think
bashed for like saying it earlier on and like
No, Miko and I were on the same thing. Last year, we were like, Casey got to go. Like, I said it last year, and then he's here, and I'm like, I'm not even watching. If he's still the coach, I'm not even watching.
Yeah.
I don't even care. Now, do we think this is an owner problem?
Yeah, it could be. I think it's more a talent problem. Like this year, like obviously Cade being hurts like what they got going on too. But today we had an interesting topic on Woodward Heavyweights where Chris was starting to question Troy Weaver even because like even if you question Casey, who's responsible for hiring and firing your coach, Troy Weaver. And I was like, damn, that's a good point too. I can't really argue that one. And then you look at the first draft he had with Killian, Sadiq, and Beef Stew. And it's like at the time we were like slap happy fans, like, yes, finally like new people to cheer for. Long run, Sadiq Bey's not here. Killian, I'm not gonna say we're not sure on. We know that he's not a starter in this league. And he passed on Tyrese Halliburton and do that one. So I was like, you're making too many points here, Chris, that I can't argue. But ultimately I think I don't think you should harp that too much on Troy Weaver. I think being hurt obviously is a big part of that.
All right,
situation.
so it's a talent thing.
Yeah, it's more so talent. NBA is talent driven. That's one thing for sure. NBA is talent driven.
Okay, so that's all I want to get off my. Okay, so then I can regroup.
But Casey can still go. I'm cool with that. Also,
all right. Okay, I just want to get. I just had to ask you that question. I just had to get one Pistons question out the way.
All due respect to Casey, he's a super cool guy.
All right,
I met him and but
all right, and then lastly tonight, UConn, San Diego State.
Oh my God, is that on right now? Oh my God, I forgot about that.
Yeah, right now UConn's up 38-26 in the second 17 minutes. It just started.
30 or 38?
38-26.
Okay, I mean, UConn's gonna be blown anyway. No, UConn's gonna win. Come on.
Well, hold on.
Cinderella stories are nice. When they get this far, they get clipped.
Okay, how close does San Diego State need to be to make it in the buzzer like last game? How close do they need to be? 10 points? Like with 5 minutes? Like at 5 minutes left, how close do they need to be?
2 points.
2?
They're fucked, dude.
Oh, you think they're screwed?
Yeah. Why, did you bet on them?
No, I didn't. I didn't bet on any of this. I made brackets and then stopped. I didn't bet on any of this, and thank God I did not because I'd have lost a lot of money.
Yes.
Like a lot of people did. I hate the Final Four these days. After COVID, it's like, what's what? I don't know. And the transfer portal? No, I mean, dude, like, you can't, it's not the same anymore. It's different.
It's
totally different.
I will say that the women's basketball final was probably more entertaining.
That was awesome.
That was awesome.
LSU.
That's the next Bird Magic rivalry.
Dude,
my words.
I mean,
for the female side of it, obviously.
Well, here's the thing. I got a daughter, she's 5 turning 6. Like, women's sports, like, I never used to be able to find them on TV. We watched women's lacrosse on Sunday. We watched the women's on Saturday, Augusta National women's golf. We watched the drive chip putt. Like what's funny is like
sounds awful.
No, no. I get it, but no, I got it. No, I got my daughter who I'm trying to get her into sports. Right? She likes dancing and all this other stuff. No, you're good. And so I'm trying to be like, what, like, right? I'm a dad. I'm like, we're gonna play sports, hockey, soccer, tennis, lacrosse. Like, we're gonna play boxing, kickboxing, jujitsu. What are you gonna do? And she's like, no, I'm gonna dance. I'm like, okay, that's cool. I didn't dance, so I don't know, right? I can't get excited about it because I don't know the dance moves, right? Ballet, all that stuff. But now she's like gotten in a little bit of golf, like putt. Oh, you like putt? Okay. So
make you some money.
Well, I showed her the drive, chip, and putt with the 10-year-olds, and she goes, I could do that. She's 5 going on 15. She's sassy. And I'm like, yes, you can. Here's a putter I ordered today. We'll start putting tomorrow.
Let's go.
So anyway, no, it's all good. But anyways, this summer, are there any events coming up that you want to rep for the crew? Like, what's going on this summer, right? I know golf outings are coming up.
Got,
like,
I don't know about any golf outings.
Opening
like
day, or you could, what, like...
Come on down. Come see me opening day. We're going to be down there downtown.
Where are you going to be?
Music City, Music Hall, or something like that.
Okay, is that...
a big-ass tent. The big-ass
And when is that? When's that?
Opening day from 9.
Bless you.
Bless you. I want to say. Thank you.
Okay.
Come see us, though. It's a good-ass time.
So
we actually
downtown opening day, music hall, giant-ass tent.
And we'll be giant-ass yellow striped tent. There's some more specific details.
Can anybody coming down?
Back and forth between there and Annex and stuff like that, but the tent is where I had the best time last year. It was fucking...
Okay, if they know the Woodward Heavyweights, do they get any, like, can they get in faster?
Yeah, try it. Why not?
Okay, yeah, say, like, Eazy told me to come.
Yeah, but tell them.
Okay, anything else this summer that's going on? We're going to... Stop it. Okay, we're... All right, so anything else this summer... we're going to get you back on before the draft, hopefully in the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
We'll lock you in for that. And then
nothing off the top of my head, but like tune in every day, man. If you guys want to, from 5 to 7 on Woodward Sports,
5 to 7,
I'd say we're definitely like the more free flowing show. I feel like I like our show, man. We have a good time. We're not like trying to force hot takes or anything like that.
No, I'm a big fan of Spencer too. We know you've been on our show. We're a big fan of you, but I like Spence too, right? I know Mac and Spencer, are boys too. Like Spencer is kind of he's how do I put this? He's kind of like a
lovable Chewbacca.
Well, yeah, he's like an undersung hero too. Like if you agree with him, he well then he'll wait and then he'll hit it, and then he'll hit it hard, right? He's like a Han Solo, but like mixed with Chewbacca.
He has called himself a big gay lion before.
Oh boy, never mind.
It's
one of the worst takes for me. So, all right,
man.
Anyways, all right. Thank you for having. Hey, thank you for being on. We appreciate you. That's Eazy from Woodward Heavyweights. Everybody, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for the questions. We didn't get to all of them, but we appreciate you. Shout out to Miko and Gian. You guys missed out, but it's all good. You can watch this later. Also, please don't forget to like, follow, subscribe. Please subscribe. On Twitch too. You guys, we're working on that. We're doing great. But again, head over to questionabletees.com. We're gonna announce the new gear, but we're gonna get our peeps with the new gear first because we're announcing at the same time. That means UE's gonna get your gear, POD is gonna get their gear at the same time. So anyway, thank you all for tuning in. I want to thank my family. I want to thank the crew. I want to thank E. I want to thank you. Oh man, that was like a rap, dude. That was pretty good. Anyway, so Eazy. Anybody you want to thank? We're thankful at the end of our podcast. We thank somebody or something.
Yeah, I just want to force anyone. Thankful for my son. Very thankful for my son.
What's his name?
Bryson.
We're thankful for you too, Bryson. We're gonna send you some questionable gear too, Bryson. He sent me the sizes.
Yes,
I ain't gonna give him some gear.
That'd be super cool.
How old is he?
He's 3.
Oh man. Oh, onesies. Oh my God, I got onesies for days. Don't worry about it.
Oh, deal. Well, he's out of onesies now.
No. But like pajama ones, like the, you know what I mean? Like like I got like Batman. So I would do Batman stuff with my daughter. Like she would wear capes and shit.
I'll hit you up.
Yeah.
I gotta go see him now.
Yeah, no, I got you. But anyway, so all right, so thank you everybody for tuning in. Thank you all. Appreciate you. Please like, follow, subscribe. Anyway, this is Question Podcast.